Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. The New York Knicks are gonna try to get back on a winning track against the Washington Wizards tonight, ladies and gentlemen, after losing 2 in a row to the Miami Heat. Hard-fought games to the Miami Heat. So it's not like they just played some old bum squad in the Miami Heat. They played a team that's on the rise right now. Miami Heat, they're now 11-14. The Heat are, the Knicks are 11-15. They're down into that 10th spot. They want to get this win tonight because they want to stay in that top 10, ladies and gentlemen. And if they lose, there's a chance that they fall out of it because there's some teams rising up. And there's a point in time where the New York Knicks need to start to put together a winning streak and get some things going. So, yeah, I think they want to get this win versus the Washington Wizards. No Bradley Beal tonight. So they better be on point. But I'm still scared about this game, ladies and gentlemen. I'm scared about this game. I'm not going to lie to you. Just being truthful. This is a team that can score. They play up tempo. I don't like playing teams like that. So the Knicks need to come with it tonight. Let's talk to the panel, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to everybody. Good afternoon to everybody that's on here with me. How you guys feeling today? Nate, what's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. I'm excited to see the Knicks play tonight, and I'm a little worried that Russell Westbrook's going to go off for a lot. Because no Bradley Beal, man. He's gonna feel like he has to take the scoring mantle.
Right.
I'm a little worried about that matchup. Alfred Payton's going to have his hands full with that one.
He's going to have his hands full. Russell Westbrook can definitely get it going if he wants to. Maybe he comes in with a grudge against the New York Knicks. I don't know. We'll see. Andy, what's up?
What up? What up to the chat? What up to the panel? What up to you, Sim? Well, I'm also a little bit scared about this game because, when they don't have their main player in Bradley Beal, someone else is going to have to take the ball and try to play up. And who's better than Russell Westbrook on that squad, right?
Exactly.
I just hope, Alfred can stand his own versus Ross. That's highly said, but at least I have hope.
Yeah, Westbrook is one of those guys that fabricates rivalries in his head, just to get himself going. And he's probably going to look and say, oh, you guys didn't want to trade for me. There was a lot of talk about you guys trading for me and you didn't want to trade for me. I'm going to come in here and bust your ass. You know what I'm saying? That's who Russell Westbrook is. Prince, what's up, man?
Hey, man, it's a blessing to be here with the fam. You know what I'm saying? MBK, hey, please subscribe, smash that like button. You know what I'm saying? Tell a friend and share. Shout out the panel. Julito, Andy, Chop Low, Nathan, what's up, fam? And the Podfather himself. But again, I think Uncle Fulio definitely called his homeboy Westbrook and told him to show out because Uncle Fulio wanted him early, so Westbrook gonna come and show out. But I'm not really worried about their team. I'm not worried about the supporting cast. That's what I should say. But again, we know how teams go. You have the 18th man on the bench and put up 25 against the Knicks just because he's playing the Knicks. So, it's going to be probably a good game to watch. Westbrook's going to give us some fireworks. But again, I don't think Westbrook beats us alone. So look forward to this game tonight, Sim, and our post game. But yeah.
Yeah, and people fabricating stories about Denny Advia. Right, because the Knicks drafted Obi Toppin instead of Denny, and it's like, did we really snub him? Yeah, Berman. What's up, Mark Berman? What's up, Mark? Did we really snub Denny?
Berman's
Come
bored.
on, man. Yeah,
Berman is bored, man.
But Denny does look impressive.
But we didn't snub him.
You see, I haven't seen Denny. But I just don't let's be honest. We said, we've all knew what, the proof is in the pudding. Obviously CAA, aka Leon Rose, wasn't going to go too far out of his comfort zone to make that pick. And again, he made the pick that felt good where he could sleep easy at night. And Danny Adiva, you out there in Washington, Halliburton, he's in Sacramento, and the rest of the draft, fell out the way it is. I see somebody, I don't know, Sim, you might have tweeted that, but I see somebody tweet, dang, so I guess we snubbed everybody. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
seen
Like
that.
you
I
said,
seen
like,
that. I seen that. Anybody we didn't draft,
every
we
player.
snubbed. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
anybody
like,
we didn't
you can't
draft, we
draft
snubbed.
every player. Like, come on now.
Yeah,
Everybody lower
exactly.
than 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but wait, P. You said make a something that he sleep good at night. I don't think Rose is that type of person. Whatever he does, it doesn't even matter. Whatever he do, he's gonna sleep good at night.
Right.
Okay, maybe
Exactly.
so, maybe
Exactly.
so, maybe so.
Godfather, man.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, Uncle Sim said
My
Rose. He said, listen, he be putting roses in front of people's doorsteps.
The kiss of death.
Yeah. Hey, Julito, what's going on, man? Julito,
Well,
you got me watching that Hotel Cecil documentary. I see you say something about it on Twitter, and I was like, let me check this thing out. And it's definitely a little weird.
Bamboozled us, man.
You know, if I
It's
go,
weird. They bamboozled. What you were saying, Sam? I'm sorry.
I was about to say, if I go to LA, I don't know where I'm staying, but I know where I'm not staying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. That whole situation is scary as hell. But shout out to the panel. Shout out to the fellas. Sam, I like what you call him, the pod father. I like
I didn't make it up though, Julito. Somebody I
okay.
stole it, but we running with it, and that's his new nickname.
We running
with it.
Pod father. What's up, y'all? Always.
Yo, Julito, salute, Papa. God bless you, Papa.
Yeah, good seeing you, Chop. Good seeing you, Chop. First time I'm on with you, so great seeing you. I laugh every time Chop come on because Simba asks Chop a question and he'd be like, look, but I want to go to Mama Stephanie, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, I love Chop. But y'all, as far as the draft, right? When it comes to draft, I'll make this quick. When it comes to drafting, it's all about where you are situational, right? What system you go to. It's working for Denny because he went to a situation where his scoring and his input is needed.
Mm-hmm.
Halliburton was needed to play defense and to hit the 3 for Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't need that. We have RJ Barrett. We knew we were going to go. We knew Tibbs was going to go for a vet for the small forward position. We didn't need Denny. And fortunately, Obi's not getting playing time because we have an all-star. So
True.
Everybody that says that, please just stop it. If you want to say we passed, I believe 14 teams passed on Giannis. Come on, stop
Right.
it.
Exactly.
And Giannis is better than everybody in the world, right? So whatever. As far as tonight's game, man, I'm not worried. I just think it is something to look at as far as the Knicks usually play down to their opponents. And, you know, tonight is right, Nathan. Tonight there is no Bradley Beal. Tomorrow, no Oladipo. And these are games where we should win, right? We're just better teams than we're a better team than the Wizards, and we match up well against the Houston Rockets tomorrow. But what we've noticed is that when you get a team that's a must-win for the Knicks or a better opponent, or we're a better opponent than who we're going against, we just play down. We play a little lazy and we play a little lackadaisical. So I hope that's not going to be a ongoing theme. I think we're going to just play a lot better tonight. We know we need this win because, win against the Wizards in the Eastern Conference, it just matters to us. We want to show Bradley Beal that we're a team he wants to come to. You know what I'm saying? And we just need a win right now to help our record. So I say we win by 15 tonight.
Yeah, we definitely need that win tonight. And I think they're motivated to get that win. I think they're upset that they took those 2 losses to Miami, especially the second one, because they led the entire game after, they went down almost 10. Then they went up 10, led the entire game, and then to give it away at the end. But I'm looking to see what D Rose is going to do tonight. Devon, we're going to get into that. But Devon, go ahead, man.
Yo, what's up, fellas? Up to the chat, to the panel, all the NBK fan, man. What's going on, y'all? I'm excited about tonight, man. I think we're going to make it happen. I think even if Bill and was in the game, I predicted the Knicks to win tonight, man. I think we're just going to get on that run pretty soon, man. So, yeah, man, I ain't going to take them for granted, but I expect the Knicks to go out there and put the defense on in the night, man. I think, Tiz, we had 2 days rest. We had a lot of film to watch, a lot of, they either correct from the past couple of games. So I think we're gonna make it happen, man. I'm really intrigued about tonight's matchup, man. I think, Westbrook is Westbrook, but he ain't a three-point shooter. So, other than the three-point shooting of Bertrand, if we could contain him on the three-point line, I think the Knicks, like Khalil said, I think it's going to be a blowout tonight, 15-20 probably.
It's something that we need. Have we had a – oh, yeah, never mind. We have. I was about to say, have we had a blowout this season? But, yeah, we blew out Milwaukee and we blew out Boston. Yeah. We definitely had a blowout.
We had a few against some of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, right. Now –
that's so funny you said that. You think Frank Ntilikina, fresh out of the dungeons of rap, they're going to bring him out?
No, I don't.
Against Russell Westbrook?
No.
I don't know. I'm joking. I'm sorry.
I know you're joking, but listen, every time we lose a game, every single game we lose, I love Frank Ntilikina. Honestly, he is my favorite player on the team just because we drafted him. And when we drafted him, I took a liking to him. So, one of my favorite players on the team, and I want to see him do well, but I'm no fool. I know Tibbs ain't putting him in the game. And every time we play a team, oh, we could have used Frank tonight. I'm like, oh, my gosh, when y'all going to get it through your head? Tibbs not putting him in the game.
The Frank.
Listen, once you get that label, like Tibbs done developed a whole new label. Once you get that situational label, that's it. It's a done deal.
And he's gonna be ready.
Hey, Sim, this is one of the front stoop talks that we should have. But again, even though it's close to Valentine's Day, ladies, if he said, if you asked him, are y'all going out for dinner, and he said situational, that means not.
That means make your own food.
Right.
Situational, man. If she said it's situational, that y'all go out for a date, that means y'all
that
not.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. That means it's not happening. That means it's a serious situation for me to go out with a date with you. You're not even in the friend zone.
Yo, but it says something that they're not even looking at him to play in the G League, man. That means
I know.
There's just no hope for him, man. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I don't think Frank Ntilikina, unless he ends up at let's say a Sacramento, a Charlotte. I don't see Frank Ntilikina touching the court this year, man.
Fresh out the dungeons of rap.
I'm not sure I see him. Yeah, and I'm not sure I see him getting on the floor either, unless, there's some serious injuries that go down and we're really down players. You know what I mean? But we've seen Tibbs, even when we're down players, go with 6, rock with 6. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with him, man. Rivers is another one. I mean, listen, Rivers already got the situational label. I know as soon as he heard that S come out, he was like, oh, my God, I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
I'm screwed.
His girl wanted him to stay home. His girl was mad because he went to the gym to work out. Now she's like, see, I told your ass. You know what I'm saying? I told you. Anyway, let's take a look at.
Popin's been playing a situational role. Nobody's even told him.
Some of the numbers behind this game, man. The Knicks are averaging 102.5 points per game, while the Washington Wizards are averaging 114. Obviously, that's going to be different tonight without Bradley Beal there. So we'll see how that looks. Again, like Andy was saying, I hate when the team's star player is out because it forces them to play a different style of basketball, right? With Bradley Beal, you give Bradley Beal the ball, he's going to take his 20 attempts per game. Now that ball has to move around. You don't have any, well, they do. They have Russell Westbrook out there that's going to take his attempts. So it still could look kind of the same, I guess, because they have Russell Westbrook who's going to take his attempts. The Knicks, they average 47 rebounds per game versus the Wizards are averaging 44. They average 25 assists a game. The Knicks average 21. They're both around 7 steals per game. The Knicks average 5 blocks. They average about 4. The Knicks are at 12.1 turnovers per game. The Wizards at 13.5, so they do take care of the basketball. Both teams shoot about 45%. The Knicks are shooting 35.5% from 3, while the Wizards are shooting 34.3. The Knicks have actually been shooting well lately from the 3-point line. At least those 2 games against Miami, they shot pretty well. One game they were really hot, blazing it. That's because of Reggie Bullock. Both teams around 75, 76% from the free throw line. And then the Knicks should be able to win that battle in the paint against the Wizards, right? And, of course, the Wizards are led by Bradley Beal, who is not here. And then, there's all kinds of speculation that the Wizards are holding Bradley Beal out, because he's going to be on the trading block and da-da-da. I mean, I honestly don't think right now Bradley Beal is going to be I don't think he's going to be traded. I think he's looking to stick it out for a little while. He might even stick it out through the end of his contract and then leave. But anyway, the Knicks average 47 points per game in the paint. The Wizards average 46. So it's about close. I think the Knicks can still win the battle in the paint. Second chance points, the Knicks are at 13.5. The Wizards at 12.8. Both about 13, basically. And then the Wizards average 10 fast break points, while the Knicks average 6.9. The Knicks are led by Julius Randle in 3 categories. That's points, rebounding, and assists. The Wizards are led by Bradley Beal actually leads the Wizards in rebounding at 5 per game. That's that's crazy. But they still average about 44 rebounds, but he leads them in rebounds per game at 5 per game. He also leads them in points. Ish Smith leads them in assists at 4.7, and then Alex Len leads them in blocks at one block per game. Remember, Alex Len was waived by the Toronto Raptors. He got picked up by the Washington Wizards. He's a guy that can spread the floor. He can shoot the 3. He can spread the floor. So that could be a problem for Mitch if Mitch is guarding him, right? So that's something that, you might worry about a little bit. When you look at the lineups, you got Elfrid Payton matching off against Russell Westbrook, Reggie Bullock against Nito. I don't even know who Nito is. RJ Barrett and Davis Bertans, Julius Randle and Rui Hachimura, and then Mitchell Robinson and Alex Len. Right, so I mean, when you look at the talent disparity here, I mean, you kind of say like, we should really beat these dudes, right? They got Russell Westbrook. We should really beat these dudes. But remember last year when we played them and they had a G League team on the floor,
we lost.
We lost to them. You know what I'm saying? We lost to them. So, I'm not taking anything for granted tonight. Anything at all.
Yo, you see Alex Len. Alex Len was the guy who killed us when we played Raptors this year, man.
Exactly.
Mitch couldn't get out to him, man. He was hitting those threes. He had some really clutch threes. So I'm a little nervous with that matchup.
Got a lot of length too.
Yeah, he was hitting threes from the corner all day. Yeah, that makes me a little bit nervous too. If Mitch ain't doing it, you got to put Noel out there. Noel's been playing good defense. He still can't catch, but he's been playing good defense lately. Looking at the injury report, Frank Ntilikina, he's not going to be available. He is out due to COVID-19 protocol. And then for the Washington Wizards, of course, Bradley Beal is day-to-day, and Thomas, he's day-to-day. He's resting tonight. Which it does just seem like it's a weird time for him to rest. They didn't play last night. They played today. They don't play tomorrow. So it seems like it's a weird time for him to rest. But whatever. Thomas Bryant, he's scheduled to undergo surgery on Tuesday to repair his torn ACL in his left knee. So there you go, man. It is kind of weird. That's the one thing that I respect about this Knicks team, man. We haven't had anybody sit out for rest yet, at least as far as we know. Let's put it like that. But, when you talk about RJ and Julius Randle, when you talk about RJ and Julius Randle, they haven't had to sit out for rest. Right?
Unc is taking shots. He's talking about load management.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Load management. No one's had to sit out yet. Now, of course, we had some injuries. And, now maybe, we had injuries to a whole bunch of our guards, and I do think that was by design. I'm just telling you. I think he wanted to work out, see what guys could do, so certain people, they go ahead and sat him out. But, for the most part, guys haven't had to take load management days, right? So You know,
man, it was a bunch of BS.
you know that's how this team is built.
Stupid.
But Devon, I'm gonna start with you, and I'm gonna come back to Andy and Nate, and then we'll come down to the bottom and hit Prince, Julito, and Chop. I want to know, what do you think Derrick Rose is gonna look like tonight? He's had a couple of days of practice. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't shoot well tonight. The only reason why I say that is because, like I said before, sometimes that first game back after not playing for a couple of weeks, you're on point, right? I mean, you got that adrenaline pumping and you feel good. Everything feels good. And then after you get some practice under your belt, a couple games, then the real rust starts to creep in and you got to shake it off for a couple games. What do you expect? What do you want to see from Derrick Rose tonight, just as far as how he's playing in that second unit? What do you want to see from him on the floor? Not even points wise, just other things.
Just like he did, just like he did when he first came in, be aggressive, run the second unit, make sure he put everybody in good position, Obi and quickly and all and God and Noel, just put him in good position, man, and do what he did the other night. And we playing a team that their defense is nothing compared to Miami's. Washington defense is nothing compared to Miami, so I won't doubt if he even go 20 tonight. Not that he need to, but I just don't think their defense is there. I mean, that's why they 6 and whatever their record is. But I think he's gonna come in, man, and now that he done got to practice in with us, he kind of know a little bit what more we're gonna do for the team. Who's here, who's there, who spot people like to be in. But I think Derrick Rose gonna have a good night tonight due to the fact that he had a couple of days of practice, and I don't think Washington defense is up to par like nowhere near Miami. So I take him to have a good game tonight.
Okay, all right, Andy.
I also think he's going to have a good game. It's like you said, the first game, you come in after a break, you come in hungry and you want to just play ball. And with that second unit, it's really easy because they run a lot. They don't run every time a play. They just somehow at least try to run up the court and then, see what's happening. And with D-Rose, we saw at least 50% more fast break, at least attempts with that second unit. So I think if it's going to be, also like a little bit freelancing, then it's going to be a good thing for D-Rose. I think he's going to, he knows Tibbs' system, but I still think, a little bit free game for him is better than that, static playoff, play calling and stuff like that. So I think until he's going to have fun, it's going to be really good. Then, like you said, the rust is going to come in, but I still think he's going to have at least a couple of games before he has that crash game that we're not, going to like. So At this point, I'm taking a good game ahead of him.
Right. And
also, remember, he's going to play versus the second unit. And the second unit of the Wizards is, we probably cannot even pronunciate their names, bro. So.
Right. And, as soon as he has that trash game, maybe it was going to be like, see, we gave up DSJ in the second for that guy.
They should have a good game, because they're not going to be up on you. They're going to give you space to shoot or get to the basket. I expect from D Rose, kind of like when I see Chris Paul play, get everybody involved in the second unit, Toppin, quickly, Noel, whoever else. Get those people involved, Burks. And then, hey, we need to get some buckets, He still can go to the hole. He can still shoot the mid-range jump shot. So, but I would like to see him just get the second team involved and just be the distributor. Just be the distributor early on. And if the team's not making their baskets, then that's when you start taking your shots and just do it. Just play within the game. You don't have to do anything spectacular. I'm a little worried about the matchup because it's going to be against Ish Smith. Ish Smith is very fast, and that could give D Rose fits if they're playing against each other.
It could,
because that dude always gives the Knicks fits all the time.
Yeah, Ish Smith is like a mouse. You know what I mean? He just gets in the crevices that you didn't know exist. But D Rose can play defense. He's a good defender. I think he can. I know he's small, but he's a good defender. And you might even be able to get away with putting Quickly on Ish Smith because Quickly is a little bit smaller than D Rose. He's quicker than D Rose. He has long arms, so he might be able to defend Ish Smith too. Prince, talking about D Rose and defense, you looking forward to seeing D Rose match up against Russell Westbrook at some point?
I look forward to D Rose accepting the challenge, because I think I don't know if it was one of us or it might have been him himself who kind of let the cat out the bag. That I believe he is I think it was RJ who said it in his post game conference. His post game little talk that he had. He had said basically that he loved D Rose leadership. That was like his quote. And, like the one thing that we said all season, that we don't have a true like leader, like Julius, like he's the vet and he's the guy that we look to drive the ship. But when you say a leader, somebody that you can look to in a time where you need to galvanize or, things are going awry, where D Rose, he's not the D Rose of old, but what he brings to the team, his knowledge, his veteran leadership, he will be that leader for us. So I look forward to a game like today. I look forward to D Rose stepping up and showing us that leadership. And again, Sim, like you said, I don't believe it has to be from him starting. I just believe that him himself, what he's been through in his career, what he's doing, what he can do, I just believe this young team is going to look to him as that leader. So, like you said, Sam, it's going to be those games where he don't drop 20 for us. And some games he might have 10 or 12. And, maybe 3 or 4 from 12, and then knock some free throws down. But as long as he brings that defense with what you asked me about, and one thing about D Rose and Tom Thibodeau's defense, he was the head of the defense. I mean, he wasn't the best defensive player out there, and I know some people say that they ran that defense to hide him. I don't believe that's true, because again, I believe D Rose stood up there and tried to guard some of the top point guards, when he came out. It was just the philosophy of their defense funneling players into, traps and double teams is, basically the ice defense, nothing inside. So seeing D Rose in that position and being able to kind of teach as he go, I think a lot of our point guards will get to see what it looks like to run Tom Thibodeau's defense, that ice defense from the point guard position. Yeah. So I look forward to tonight. I think he steps into a role just a little bit more sure. Yeah.
And I think that Derrick Rose, because of his stature in the league, he's one guy that he can step up and go. I don't want to say toe to toe with Westbrook, but for a quarter, can step up and go toe-to-toe, right? In the fourth quarter, step up and go toe-to-toe with him. I think that's one of the things you have with Westbrook is he just brings that moxie that I don't think we really had with this team. No one who has ever been had that kind of stature. You know what I'm saying? Julito, do you think tonight, if it's close in the fourth quarter, we see Derrick Rose be the guy in the fourth quarter? Or is it going to go by who's playing well?
Absolutely. No, I think, number one, I do believe D Rose will have a good game. So I think Tibbs usually goes to the guy that's playing well. And for some reason, D Rose is that type of player that makes you want to play better, because say for these young guys like a Obi or a Quickly, they watched D Rose growing up. They watched MVP D Rose. They saw D Rose going head to head with LeBron James. If it wasn't, I truly believe, because I used to watch every game. Derrick Rose is one of my favorite players as a kid. If it wasn't for LeBron James, Derrick Rose would have won a championship, right? The team was just that good. And that level of professionalism, that experience D Rose brings, it makes everybody better because you respect him. And I think going on Prince's point around Julius Randle, this is the thing. Julius Randle didn't necessarily have that much respect around the league, right? He didn't have a great tenure with the Lakers, and then the Pelicans, he was forgotten, even though he played well. D Rose is a guy, as soon as he comes to your building, you're like, you put your chest up a little bit, right? Like you that form goes a little smoother because you want to make sure that you don't ruin a person's legacy. And I think that's why you see Obi Toppin with a little more pep in his step. You see Emmanuel Quickly excited when there's a picture of him coming in the game with Derrick Rose. Oh, yeah. He gets to put that on his wall for the rest of his life. Little things like that gets to the mentality of a player. And I think Derrick Rose is he's ready. You see the article came out today where he told Dwayne Casey, like, I gotta go because I got some more in the tank and I need to be on a playoff team. He believes the Knicks are a playoff team. So he's gonna have a great game. And I think we're gonna see a lot more good games from D Rose than we see games where he's winded, or I think he was not playing in Detroit because he knew he was gonna go to a team. I think he knew he was gonna go to the Knicks and he knew he was gonna be needed automatically. And I would love to see D Rose at the end of the game. He knows Tip's system. He knows the plays. And he's going to make us a lot better because the main important thing that we haven't had, and that is speed. Speed.
Right.
Obi Toppin, in order for Obi Toppin to be successful, he needs a fast-paced point guard. We are going to see a new Obi Toppin tonight. I really believe that. And I think we're going to see him at the end of the game.
Okay. So do you I'm going to ask you this real quick, then I'm going to come to Evergreen with the same question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you value Rose more starting or coming off the bench?
I need D Rose starting, man. I think with D Rose starting, Sim, we're going to look like a team that's going to give you fast-paced offense. I think our defense is amazing, but we've been losing games because our offense just hasn't worked. Right. And with D Rose moving that ball, and imagine, you see Julius Tasmanian Devil Randle, when he got the ball, he just tunnel vision. Imagine you got D Rose over here. You got Julius Randle running crazy. Yo, we're going to put pressure on teams offensively, and that's going to open RJ Barrett up. That's going to have Reggie Bullock hitting 4 or 5 threes a game for us. And that's going to make Mitch get his lob city, his lobs, man. And that's what we need. I want to see Derrick at that starting position, man.
But Jolito, God bless you saying that. Remember that no-look pass to Obi?
Come on. Chop, come on,
but see, that's what I was going to ask. Isn't that going to take away from his play with Obi? Because he's only going to play probably 23 to 25 minutes per game, right? So if he's starting, which, obviously I'm totally fine with him starting, or, however Tibbs plans to use him. But it's not going to take away from him being able to play with Obi and help to unlock Obi.
I think. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say this real quick. I think having a starting 5 run offensively better is more important than having Obi Toppin run right now.
Okay. All right.
I think it's more important
at a quicker pace. Yeah.
I hear you. Hold on. Let me come to Evergreen, Nate.
Yo,
and then I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Evergreen, it's on you, man. Hey.
So I disagree. What's up?
But before you even go,
all right. So
I heard a comment the other day. I seen a comment the other day. One of the videos. I don't remember which one it was, but someone said, "I just want to know if Evergreen is ever going to get to where he's going." You know what I'm saying?
That was me, Tim.
That was you? Okay, that was you.
That was great.
The man that loves to drive.
Yeah, my brother. Wherever you go,
that's the joint.
Listen, I'm always on the road. You know what I mean? My job requires me to do a lot of driving. Most of the time where y'all see me, I'm always driving to work or driving home from work. It just so happens y'all stream around this time, and I'm always getting off of work. So, yeah, man.
And listen, Chad, we appreciate him. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Appreciate it. All right. So, I gotta disagree with Lito simply because the offense is what it is because of the half court. Right? Now, get it. We know that RJ Barrett's success that he had at Duke was a lot of fast break. We also know that Julius Randle's initial success that he had in his second year in LA, as well as his, the trade year from New Orleans to New York, it was a lot of up and down, fast break, bull in the ring type plays. But I think Thibodeau organized the offense to be at a half-court pace to allow both of those players to really tap into to other skill sets that they have. I don't want to see RJ. I mean, it would be nice to see RJ running up and down the court, but I think his skill set that he has right now, we got to tap into what he has on a half court isolation game. What we do know also is that Obi Toppin is not a half court player at all, which is why we haven't seen him get any success. So I would much rather have Derrick Rose running that point guard in the second unit to at least get him going and to get him some type of confidence. And I want to see him doing that a lot more consistently, because the moment we can get Obi Toppin in good game shape, to be more consistent, then we can start to wean off of Julius Randle being the main guy on the floor all the time. And I think that obviously that help is not going to come to Julius Randle at the 4 spot. So we got to get Obi Toppin involved. And if there was ever a game that Obi Toppin could break out, I've said this a couple games before that, but I said it on the Portland game, that obviously didn't work. But if there was ever a game that Obi Toppin is gonna show up, it's this one, right? Because Bertans is the only real big that they have. So, that's my take on that. Leave Derrick Rose at the coming off the bench to allow him to really help Obi get where he needs to be.
Yeah, well,
I respect that, Evergreen. I respect that for sure.
Yeah, and I think definitely from the beginning, right now at least, he's coming off the bench. For at least until I would say the All-Star break, and then maybe we'll see something after that, depending on how the lineups work out. Go ahead, Nate.
So two points I want to say was kind of what Evergreen was talking about. I think another reason why the Knicks play half-court defense is because I think Tibbs is worried that if we do play a faster pace, our defense has got to be quicker to get to the spots. And I don't know if Tibbs is comfortable with that. I think he's more comfortable walking it up or getting set up in the half court. Now, obviously, we're talking defense on the side, but I'm just saying, like, the pace is he likes to play more half court because he likes to be able to set up for the defense.
Right.
That's kind of what I was trying to say.
Right.
Second point is why I think D Rose should start, and it's not because of the speed really. It's the instinctual and the fact that he doesn't think. He knows what to do. If you've watched D Rose in the past, D Rose really does not hesitate, does not really, is not timid. If he's got an open lane, he's going to take it to the hole. If he's got a cutter, he's going to pass the ball. I mean, he knows what to do. And that's no knock on Peyton, but I just think Peyton hesitates sometimes too much or acts a little timid, at times. But D Rose is not that type of player. He's not a timid. He's not not scared, but he's not a timid player. He knows what to do.
He's a half-court player. He's a half-court player. Well, bring up that stat. There's a stat about that, Nate, right? Right. No. It's a stat about that where they talked about it earlier. I forgot what show it was, but as far as a fast-paced team and pushing the ball, Derrick Rose probably will give you that more than Elfrid Payton, if you will, yeah? Right.
Without a question.
Yeah,
right.
He's more of a the offense type of guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose would definitely give you more pace and push the ball more. The only thing you get nervous with Derrick Rose, I guess that's the reason why his minutes would be kind of limited, and probably why he didn't play those 3 weeks in Detroit is because he wanted to save his knees. You know what I mean?
And he plays reckless.
Because I think he's kind of got that recklessness under control. He used to play reckless, but I think he's kind of got that under control. He understands his body a little bit better and what his body can give him, will give him. So I think he's kind of, relaxed a little bit. One last thing I want to ask, I'm going to come to Andy, about if Derrick Rose is inserted into the starting lineup. Knowing that, you're probably only going to play him 23 to 25 minutes just to preserve his body, to preserve his knees, let's say that. How are you staggering those minutes? Are you doing he plays the first 6 minutes of the first quarter and then Peyton comes in at 6 minutes in the first quarter, and then Rose, doesn't come in until maybe 5 minutes left in the second quarter. So now that's 11 minutes. You still got 12 to 13 minutes to play him in the second half. And maybe you carve out to make sure you have at least 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter for Derrick Rose to be in the game, right? I mean, do you do it that like that? How would you do it, Andy?
Yeah, firstly, I'm not a fan of D Rose starting, and it's not because of his skill. I just value his leadership in the second unit. We didn't have that. We were talking about staggering RJ and Julius. When we're putting on not like 5 starters and 5 bench players, when we have D Rose in that bench role, we can easily lay all the, pressure on him. He's going to either pass out the ball or take it upon himself to score the basketball, to be the playmaker in that unit. Even better than Emmanuel Quickly, better than anyone we can have there in the second unit. And he might be even one of the top 10 best playmaking players on every NBA team, in the whole NBA, when you think about it. I don't think there's that many great players, in the whole league that are off the bench and then can create for themselves, for the rest of the team. And I'm not talking, creating them for themselves like a point guard or whatever. He just is a player that was in those situations, in clutch moments, that can really drive your team. Either the coaches ask him to do this or that, he can just take it upon himself and, pick up the decision that's going to be good for the team. That's why I'm not a fan. But if I had to do it, I basically would probably, like you said, first 5 minutes, then put in Alfred, then just let him run at least 2-3 minutes at the end of the second quarter. So he's not going to be really, stall and cold going to the break. And then probably I would even consider, even not starting him at the third, just leave as much minutes as possible for the fourth quarter, Right. Because in the fourth quarter, you don't look at the, at the situation that you don't use every playmaking player you have on the roster. If you have 3 guys at the last 2 minutes on the court, the opposite team is going to have a problem on defense, because they're not going to know which one of players you're going to trust to make that shot, to make that play in the last minutes, if it's going to be a tight game. If it's going to be a blowout, you don't even have to run him, right? But, at this point, we are using basically Julius Randle. The second option was RJ Barrett. And when we're going to have D Rose available in those 2 minutes, even, I'm not asking for more than last 2-3 minutes if it's a close game. Those last 2-3 minutes, 4, 6, 7 possessions are really important. And if you have, players that have that gene, because he has that gene, that closeout gene, that you really have to, he's like those guys that you're not afraid for him to take a shot. It might be a pull-up, field goal, or driving to the basket. I'm not thinking you're going to be upset with a shot that Derrick Rose is going to take. So, right. That's a really valuable possession. That's why I would, start him on the bench and keep him there with the second unit. He can also mentor the young guys like he's going to do. So I think that's a better role as far as you're putting the Knicks above a player, right? And this is a team game. So I would value him on the bench rather than the starting lineup.
Hey, Sam, can I make a point before you change topics?
Yeah, go ahead. Jump in there, Devon.
Yeah, real quick. I agree with everybody's point, though. I mean, it's like a win-win either way. But one thing I do like D Rose in the first unit is because you already got good defenders in the first unit. You got Mitchell, Bullock, and RJ. So I could see him in the first unit because of that good defense. Then you take Alfred Payton. Now you move into a unit where you only pretty much got Nerlens Noel, who's a good defense.
The Westchester unit. The Westchester unit.
Right. If you put if you put Alfred Payton at the 1 with Quickly, Burks, Obi, that helps out that second unit defensively. It's like a win-win either way. I agree with everybody talking, but I wouldn't have a problem if D Rose started. You put Alfred Payton in that second unit to shore up that stronger defense in the second unit. And I think it'll work either way, though. So I would be good either way.
Yeah, the defense of the second unit actually looked pretty good against Miami with Derrick Rose out there.
They did.
You know what I'm saying? They looked pretty good. Derrick Rose played really, really good on Tyler Hero. That's one of the reasons why I thought he should have been in the game in that fourth quarter coming down the stretch because I thought he played really good defense against Tyler Hero. And maybe Tyler Hero doesn't get that shot off. Me and Guillermo looked at it last night. Elfrid Payton was like a split second too slow at getting out there. He was right there. But I think Derrick Rose gets there and really disrupts that shot. And maybe Tyler Hero doesn't hit that three, it was a crucial three.
Yo,
you know what I mean? Crucial three. Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, Sam, D Rose got fresh legs, man.
Yeah.
I think we are over. He's not 40 years old. He's 32. He's had a lot of rest. 31, right? He's had a lot of rest. Yo, he's fast. There's not many people in the league that are faster than D Rose. Right. That's why he plays good defense, because defense is, you know this, Sam, defense is about energy. It's about athleticism. It's about you caring enough to go and play, to run, to try to get a steal, to chase people like Tyler Hero around. And that's why we needed him out there, man. But Tibbs was on some, he's like, look, I don't want to put that on him right now. It's his very first day, no practice. He didn't want to put it on him, but I think he would have stopped Tyler Hero.
You know what? He'll put him on.
He didn't want to ruffle no feathers, right, with Payton and everybody else. Like, that's your man. Why you got him on the floor?
I don't even think he cares about ruffling feathers. Listen, he didn't even look Austin Rivers' way. Derrick Rose got off the plane. He basically got off the plane, put on a uniform, and got on the floor. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even look at Austin Rivers.
Well, I think everybody knew that, the relationship they have.
Right. So I mean, obvious. So I think he wanted to give him that one night, and then if it comes down to stretch this game, you're gonna see Derrick Rose out there. He gave him that one night. He said, I'm going to let you play tonight. He played 20 minutes. Just got off the plane. Played 20 minutes.
So, hold on, Uncle Sim.
I think...
Wait, Uncle Sim.
No, go ahead, please.
No, you said, remember when Carmelo came home, you probably wanted to cry because of the video. I'm coming home, right? That's what Tibbs did when Rose came.
Right.
He probably had a moment.
Somebody in the chat just said it. D Rose is 1 year younger than Steph Curry.
Right.
I think we are mentally confused because we watched Derrick Rose be so good for so long, and we remember those playoff series, like I said, with the Bulls against the Celtics or the Bulls against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And to us, it's so long ago. So we're like, yo, Rose is old. Rose is 31 years old.
That's as old as Kevin Durant.
It's so long ago. It's not that it's so long ago. It's that we're attributing age with his multiple injuries. Yeah, right? Yes. So a lot of us are looking at it like, the guy is old. The guy is old. Yeah, but it's not that his
knees are old.
It's just that there's one season. Yeah, it's one season. He was out. Pretty much out of his entire career, he spent 2.5 seasons not playing basketball because of injuries, right? And then for one season he came back after his injuries. It was mediocre until he built himself back up when he got to Tibbs that second year in Minnesota, right? So it's not just about him, his youth. It's about his injuries and what we've seen from him.
But Evergreen, do we look at his body? Do we look at the cup as half full or half empty? Because I could then say that means he just has a lot more rest on his knees because he's been able to do therapy around it, to get it. And that's why he's quick.
Yeah, but Papa, he readjusted his game. He readjusted his game.
Yo, Derrick Rose was the quickest person on the floor last game. He was the quickest person on the floor last game. There was nobody quicker. Tyler Hero, Emmanuel quickly. And he's 31. So it's like, I get what y'all are saying 100%, but I'm just like, I just want to look at the cup as half full and say that Derrick Rose got a lot more years to be consistent and he hasn't had a major injury since the torn ACL. Well, the second torn ACL, about 4 years ago. He's been okay since.
Yeah, for some respect, what New York Knicks fans would like is the Eastern Conference Finals Derrick Rose. That's what we want. But again, he's adjusted his game, like you said. He's adjusted his game. So we don't get that Derrick Rose from 2008, 2009. That's not the Derrick Rose we're getting. We're getting the Derrick Rose from Minnesota, right? We can't have, yes, he's quick, but when we start to attribute quickness, we're really talking about quickness and athleticism, getting to the hole and rising above the rim. We're not getting that. So everyone is still, no matter how much you think about it, or no matter how much you say, Derrick Rose and he's healed himself and he's really taking care of his body, we all still fear a Derrick Rose ACL injury. I know I do, and that's another reason why I would like him to continue to play in that second unit, because it doesn't cause for it cause for him to play a leadership distribution role and trying to figure out what the other players have, and it doesn't force him to try to play out of his means. I'm still scared of that injury, point blank period. Right? Yes, he's fast. Yes, he's quick. Yes, he's 31, 32 years old. I get it. I still fear that. Of course, I hope for the best, but I still fear that.
Okay. All right. We'll see. Hopefully he can hold up. Hopefully he holds up for the year. Josh, what's going on, man? Are you hoping that Russell Westbrook goes off tonight?
Hell yeah. Absolutely. I hope he does, just to prove everybody wrong.
That's my guy.
Hey, no, honestly, look, imagine if the Knicks had 18, 10, and 10 from the point guard position right now, along with what we already have with the great defense that Tips is put with the team, and we get that extra scoring from the point guard position. This team will be totally different. Like all this stuff about, we're talking about playoffs and top four, the Knicks will be right there. You know what I mean? So, that's always been my dude, but obviously as of right now, we don't have him. And I know you guys were talking about Derrick Rose being the fastest player on the court at, 32 years old. Tonight, that's going to be Russell Westbrook at 32 years old. Okay? So, look, I think the Knicks have a great chance of winning the game tonight. Obviously, DC plays horrendous defense. And I would think is, can we be able to score and match their ability to score? Because, at any given moment, these guys can put up 120, 130. I know they're missing Bradley Beal tonight, so that's a good sign for us. But my problem with the Knicks is, they can be able to hold teams to underneath, a reasonable score, but we can't score. We can't match their scoring or even, eclipse that. So who's going to be that third or fourth guy to be able to step up, to give us that output with the scoring? And then we have to find that out.
Yeah, hopefully Westbrook is that guy that can provide. I mean, not Westbrook. Derrick Rose is that guy that can provide that scoring for us, especially with him playing on the bench. At least from the beginning, he's playing on the bench. Him and Quickly together. Tonight, I'm looking to see RJ. RJ didn't play well in the Miami series, if you want to call it a series, right? He didn't play well at all. He played better in the second game. He had 13 points, but obviously he missed that shot down the stretch. I'm not mad at that shot down the stretch. Not mad at it at all. Miami played a hell of a scheme against the Knicks. They trapped the guards at any chance they could. They blitzed off of the screen and roll, right? I think the Knicks handled it well. The players handled it well, right? But I think that led into RJ, having some rough outings. And if you could take RJ away, you might see more teams start to go to that, to try to take RJ away so that he can't get that, whatever the play is. He likes to dribble down the left side of the lane and lay it up, sometimes off of a handoff, a lot of times off of a handoff. And if they start to blitz him and take that away, you may be able to neutralize RJ. And if you neutralize RJ, then that puts even more of the scoring load on Julius Randle. If you can neutralize RJ by taking the ball out of his hands when he has it, I think that's where Derrick Rose can really step up and provide some more scoring. So it takes that, scoring load if they do try to neutralize RJ. Because the Miami Heat did it very, very well this week or the last two games. Go ahead, Josh.
But Sim, my thing is with RJ Barrett, right? And I think that the Miami series was a perfect preview of what will happen in the playoffs with this current roster. Like, we were talking before the Miami series. I know Julito was saying, that, Miami, because of their record, we're better than them. But the truth is we're not, because they have, a great coaching staff, and they know how to play defense really well, and they basically neutralize the offense in both games, right? So as the Knicks are perfectly constructed, they can get to the playoffs. I like our chances to actually get there, but once we get in there, we got to be able to start out scheming teams and out coaching them, because talent-wise, we're not gonna blow anybody away with our talent. So we have to be able to play, win tough games, win close games, and I think that the Miami series was definitely a preview of what's to come until they decide to make a move and improve the roster.
Right. So now, I mean, the only thing is, they did. They performed well, though, even though they did get, they got blitzed. They got blitzed. The guards got blitzed. Miami played a playoff type of defense. It was a playoff type intensity throughout both of those games. The Knicks proved to me that they can play on that level. But like Josh said, we got to find somebody who can find ways to close the game out. Do you think, Prince, I'm going to Prince and then Divine, do you think that the Wizards, they're not a good defensive team. So do you think they have any of those kind of schemes in their defense to confuse the Knicks? I think they will play some zone, especially if we're not hitting. I think they will come out and play some zone against us. I don't know how well they can play the zone, but I think they might play some zone against us. And we've seen teams that we thought we should beat come out and play some zone and still have us a little bit confused and slow us down from scoring the basketball. Do you think the Wizards have any type of defensive acumen to give us some resistance, Prince?
I think, you got to give Scott Brooks, he's not a great coach, but again, a guy came from college, and, college guys, they have a lot of stuff in their repertoire. So again, I could definitely see him, like you said, him coming out with that cheater defense, that, NBA cheater defense known as the zone. I could see him running that against us to maybe try to, get us to do what we, do best, and that's miss shots. So again, if we don't, have that, like you said, that lane for RJ going to the basket left, or you don't have Julius playing bully ball, Mitch not catching alley-oops, what's our offense? You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I could definitely see them coming out with that. But I think we now have somebody in Derrick Rose who, he's a guy who can beat a zone. He's a zone beater himself. He can get into those gaps and attack the basket, even if you are, running the zone against him. So I think, now we have a couple different things that could counter them using the zone. Also, I think defensively isn't the only thing I think we got to worry about. I think also we will have to worry about back doors, because again, much like I said, if I remember Scotty Brooks' offense when he was in OKC, I think they did a lot of action on the other side of the ball. So we're going to have to be mindful of that, so that again we don't have that same thing happen like we had in Chicago, where guys are getting backdoor layups easy. So again, just depending, when we come to play our basketball, I think we're good. But again, if we, come in there thinking, all we got to do is beat Russell Westbrook tonight, we could be sadly mistaken by a slow start. So again, Sam, hopefully we can just pick it up and we can, just come in like gangbusters. But again, I think this will be a team effort, and we're going to have to pull it out as a team more than anything.
Yeah. Divine, what do you think? Do they have, can they provide any defensive schemes that confuse us, or are they just so weak defensively, it's not something we have to worry about?
I actually think it's just because they're weak. Their defense is weak. I mean, no matter how many schemes you got, if you don't have the talent, it don't matter. You know what I mean? You can throw all the schemes you want to. If you ain't got the player who can get out there and hustle and make the scheme work, right, then I think it's irrelevant. I just don't think you giving up 100. You give up 149 points in the game or 145 points in the game. Now you playing the Knicks, who you ain't gonna get that against us, and we ain't giving up no 140 points. So I don't even see that happening, man. I just think that Bertrand is not a defense player. What's that, Rudy Muchamora, whatever it is. He's all right. He's still young. It's like he going up against Julius Randle. That's like RJ going up against Butler. You know what I mean? It's like I don't see that happening. So I mean, Lynn, he got length in there. But I don't foresee it, Sam. I just think that they are who they record say they are, man. That's why they terrible, because they don't play no defense. I just don't think they got nothing that can hold us down. Be honest with you, so
Okay.
I don't foresee it.
All right. I mean, I hope that's the case. That's the one matchup, though, that Alex Len and Mitchell Robinson, that's the one matchup that scares me a little bit. The Washington Wizards give up 116 points per game. That's 29th in the league. Right? Give up 116 points per game. So this has to be a starting point for us, I think. And you know, we got to win this game. We got to beat Houston, and then we got a nice homestand, and we got to do some work on that homestand. I'm gonna come to Julito for this one. Do you think? All right, what's your thoughts on? I don't want to look past Washington, but what's your thoughts on the Wizards and then the homestand that we got coming up? Well, we're gonna play like five games in a row at home. I think we may have one more road game before we come home, but like 7 of our next 9 games are at home. This is a chance for us to. And we're playing teams. The only team that's above 500 are the San Antonio Spurs, I think. Right? I'm not sure about the Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
Right? That's like the only team that is above 5. No, the Golden State Warriors are above 500. So, you know, we have a schedule that should be winnable. Are we in the midst? Do you think that we're going to be able to, you know, we're 4 games below 500. Can we get out of this above 500?
Yeah, absolutely. Sam, this home stand, these 2 games, it means everything to the season. It could literally make or break a season. If it will be the difference between us as the Knicks team looking like a fluke or a legit playoff contender. We are playing, I believe, 6 straight home games, right? After having the worst schedule in NBA for this season out of all teams. If we can get 2 wins out of the Wizards in Houston going into that homestand, man, it will mean everything to us. We will go into that homestand confident. I said it last time I was here, but I really feel playoff teams, good teams, defend home court. Good teams defend home court. So if we can go into this homestand on a 2-game winning streak, and then we're going against teams that are under 500s that are not even going to make it to the playoffs, like the Magics. And come on, man, it will mean everything to us. And the moment we get over 500 with the team that we have now, and I do believe that there are going to be some other trades happening before, you know, especially before the deadline. I just think that it can really set us off into the sunset, man. And listen, if the Knicks make it to the 8th seed, if the Knicks even make it to a challenge game, it will literally change the trajectory of where we're going as a Knicks franchise. You see what it did. I'm going to say it every time. You see what it did for the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, we don't have a Devin Booker, but just being respected around the league matters. It matters to free agents, even though there aren't that many. It matters to folks who are going to be disgruntled, that want to go to teams that it just feels a little better, right? Like if you look at the Knicks, Derrick Rose had the opportunity to go to the Clippers, who are favored to go to the Western Conference Finals, especially, and maybe even the championship, and also the Brooklyn Nets, I believe. He said, I want to go to the Knicks. And he was with us before, but I know he has Tibbs. I know he has West, but Derrick Rose cried the last time he came to the Knicks. I don't know if y'all saw that documentary. He cried the day he got traded. No one's crying to come to the Knicks because they got to come to the Knicks anymore. We're changing the trajectory of our franchise, and I think this homestand is going to make or break us. And I think we're going to leave out of it happy, though. I really believe that.
Yeah, I hope so, man. We play the Wizards tonight in Washington. Then we come home and we play Houston. We play Atlanta at home. Then we go to Orlando. And then we hit this homestand where we play San Antonio at home, Minnesota at home, Golden State, Sacramento, and then Indiana at home. And then we play Detroit and we play San Antonio to close out the first half of the season. And then after we play San Antonio on March 2nd, you know, we go into the All-Star break. But these are all games. The Wizards are below 500. Houston right now, they are below 500. Right? And they're playing without Victor Oladipo tomorrow. The Atlanta Hawks, I believe the Hawks are below 500 as well. They're 11-13. Right, San Antonio, they're above 500. Minnesota's below 500. Golden State, they're above 500. Sacramento is below 500. Indiana's below 500. Detroit's below 500. And then we got San Antonio again, who are above 500. So, we're going to and San Antonio, it's not like they're burning up above 500. The Spurs are 14-11. So we're playing all teams that are right within the range where we are and teams that we should be able to beat. This is our chance to really make a run and, make a name for ourselves. We go into the break above 500. If we go into a break above 500, you can almost guarantee that they're going to make a move, another move to add another player to help propel them forward. I think, though, even if they're 3 games above or 3 games below, anywhere in that range, they're making a move anyway. But if they're above 500, you can just about put that one in the books, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? So, this is
Agreed.
this is
100%.
Definitely an important stretch for the Knicks, man. Important stretch. Nate, I think you had your hand up.
Yeah, you kind of hit the nail right on the head. I think you said in like the last couple of shows that this stretch right here is gonna determine if we're gonna be buyers and sellers in the trade deadline. Also, too, if worst case scenario, the Knicks don't do well in this stretch, the T word's gonna come out. And a lot of people are going to clamor again that we should just tank and try to get our draft pick as high as possible, knowing that we still have Dallas this year in this year's draft. So, I mean, obviously the trajectory is you want the Knicks to go in the right direction because we've seen so many years of this team just be god awful, horrible, and we're tired of all the losing. We want the Knicks to win consistently, and not only do great teams defend home court, but great teams and good teams also beat the teams they should beat, or teams that are less than them. And so that's the Knicks' next step in their progression, is taking care of these teams that are either less than them or not as good as them. And then, we already know we play up to the competition. We play well against good teams, but we got to take care of these teams that are lesser than us, because those are wins. Every win is critical, especially when you talk about us being the 10th seed right now. And then you've got teams vying to get to that spot where we are. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight. And so Knicks cannot take off games, period.
Right. And tonight should feel like practice. After playing those 2 games against Miami with the intensity of those games and the defense of those games, it should feel like practice tonight. But we will see. We'll see how it plays out. Nate, give me a prediction for tonight, because I'm about to head off. I'm going to head off and finish watching this, Cecil Hotel documentary.
Cecil Hotel.
and
hold your wife close
get ready
to you
for the night.
if you get scared.
Yo, Sim, you smart watching it in the daytime. You smart watching it in the daytime.
Right.
Don't watch that at night. My girl woke up in the middle of the night with a nightmare, bro. I was like, God damn, why we watching at midnight?
Right.
Yep.
Yo, it is a little nerve-wracking. Like, dang, what the hell is going on here? But go ahead, Nate. Give me your prediction.
All right, man. I said it last time, and he got 7. I'm gonna say Obi Toppin has double figures tonight. This is the best matchup for him. Like, I think it was one of the people in the chat said that nobody really has the foot speed or the size to match Obi outside of maybe Bertans, which Bertans is not a defender by no means. I think Obi's gonna have a good showing tonight. I really think Derrick Rose is gonna do his best to give him some good easy baskets, and you're gonna see some good synergy with those two. So I'm gonna say double figures for Obi.
All right. Okay.
He had 7 last time.
All right. I hope so. He's had 1 double-digit game so far, right? He had 12 points one game. I think that's his only double.
He did? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
he had a game with 12 points. I think that's the only one so far. Andy?
Well, I'm only saying that the Knicks are in the position to, say that we're supposed to win. But this is one of these, those games that we're really supposed to win. And I really think a double-digit win is like, you should pencil it in. I'm going to be upset if we win even less than double digits versus the Wizards. They are playing so bad defense. I saw them, and I called their defense shock defense. They left 3-point guys, shooters, so open that they were shocked when they got the ball. They were like, should I shoot it now in rhythm or like wait up? And, that blow their mind. So I call that shock defense of the Wizards. So, only thing I would be afraid of is Bertrand and Len, because those big guys can really, if they get hot from three, we're going to have a problem like in the last game with Kelly Olynyk. He surprised us when, we knew that he can do it, right? But nobody's like, okay, maybe he's going to make one. Okay, he made the second one. Okay, he's not going to make the third one. And he made the third one. He made the fourth one. So I hope it's not going to be that kind of close game. So that those shots that they're going to make don't going to matter, right? So I'm really, I'm taking Westbrook in account, but I really still think that the rest of our squad is more balanced than their, team. So I'm predicting a double-digit win. In our players, I'm not going to predict points. I'm going to be happy with anything that's going to get us a W. So,
okay, all right, Divine.
Yeah, man, I'm the same thing. I'm hoping for a blowout because we do have a back-to-back today and tomorrow, so maybe we can get a good blowout and rest. Let Tibbs finally rest Julius. Them 2 minutes, something left, 3 minutes, whatever. But I hope we get a blowout, man, for that reason. But Tibbs though, he's kind of
still gonna be playing them.
Right, but I think it's going to be a pretty much an easy win for us, man. I mean, coming off that Miami series, like you said, with 2 days rest, the Knicks is a dangerous team when they get some rest. You know what I mean? They get their legs back under them. The young guys get their legs back under them because, but I'm excited about it. I think we're going to pull that off with no problem tonight, man. I honestly do.
Yeah. Look, if we up 20, Tibbs will rest those guys at 2 minutes. If we're up 30, he'll rest them at 1 minute and 30 seconds. Probably. You know what I'm saying? Prince.
Hey, man. Shout out to chat. You know what I'm saying? Great panel discussion, like always. NBK for life. Sim, if we got a little bit of time, do you mind if I get my little 30 seconds of fame?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All right, man. Well, this is your boy Prince bringing the Westchester Knicks affiliate. You know what I'm saying? What did we call it? I forgot. Somebody chimed the name. I already forgot it. But you know what I'm saying? Bring you that Westchester Knicks talk, man. But yesterday we had a game, guys. We played against the Greensboro Swarm. Score came out 118-106. We are 2-0. With G League Westchester team is doing pretty good. Yesterday we had a very good game. We were about 40% as a team. We shot from 3, 36%. We got to pick our free throws up. We were 9 for 15 from the free throw line, so that's not bad. Leading scorers were Miles Powell. I know a lot of you guys would be happy to hear that. He dropped 22 last night. He had a great game. Shot the ball. He was 5 for 10 from a three-pointer, so he shot 50%. 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Jared Harper was cooking as well. He ended up spraining his ankle or went out with an ankle injury. So, guys, put your hands together and thank the Most High to see if we can get Jared Harper healthy soon. James Young, he piggybacked too. He's another Kentucky guy. He dropped 21 points. He had a pretty good game too as well. Also, who helped? I like this guy a lot. Lewis King. Didn't know much about him, but he's a young guy. I think he's like 19, 20 years old. He was one of those kids who wanted to leave the NBA early. I think he bounced around, ended up in the G League. But the kid's got game. He has a lot of game. He's a 3. But again, he can score. I like his game. And then another guy who scored for us was Tyler Hall, and he had 17 points. So again, from looking at the game, it seems like the team is starting to gel. They're starting to play with each other. We didn't get Iggy tonight because Iggy is also out with, I think, ankle. I don't know what's going on with those guys down there in Westchester. Somebody down there breaking ankles, but it might be Miles Powell. Who knows? But yeah, look forward to hearing from you again, MBK family. I will have some more stuff. I think next game, I don't remember for sure, but the game that I got on my calendar is that G League Elite. So again, and that will be a ESPN televised game as well. So again, we'll be able to see those guys up front and center against some of the guys that you guys are in love with, the Kamingas and Greens and all of those guys. So we'll get a great chance to see those guys up close and center in the next couple of days. So Sim, hey, this is your boy the Prince with the Westchester Knicks affiliate, and hey man, I'm sending it back to you.
Appreciate it. Any predictions on tonight's game? Your predictions for tonight's game?
Tonight, let's get this dub, man. I mean, ain't no reason to really break out the the measure tape, trying to figure out, where we get points at. I'm with Divine. I'm with Andy. I'm with Josh. I'm with Julito. I think, like everybody said, I think we all just need to come out and really put our thumb on these dudes' neck and let them know that the Knicks ain't playing. We're not a team that will, play down to our competition's talent. It's time for us to start separating ourselves because, again, this next 10, 11 games truly can separate us from, the bottom of the pack in the NBA. And we can be, like you said, like Julito said, looked at and respected when people talk about us. And maybe over this All-Star week, who knows, maybe Julius and RJ can go down there and, steal Zach LaVine and
yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
Go kidnap him.
Yeah,
Right.
go kidnap me,
Right. Josh?
My boy Prince over there on his Warner Wolf, you know what I'm saying, from back in the day. All right, so y'all already know the basketball gods don't like me. I'm gonna say what's not what I'm really thinking, but I'm gonna say the Knicks shooting woes. I'm gonna say the Knicks shooting woes continue. I'm gonna say Westbrook goes for 25. I'm gonna say Alfred Payton leads us in scoring again, and I'm gonna say we lose the game 95-86 DC.
Damn, man.
Yo, block him, Sim. Block him.
You saying that because you wanted to win?
We win.
Yeah,
Right. Why you saying it?
Every time he say we lose, we win.
Right.
There you go.
Julito?
NBK fans could score more than 86.
Right? I think the Knicks win by 12. First off, Prince, excellent job just now. Excellent job.
I appreciate it, bro.
I love what you're doing, fam. I love what you're doing. Excellent job. I think the Knicks win by 12. I think Julius Randle, he's due for another triple-double. I think we're going to get a triple-double. RJ needed a redemption game. I don't think he played the greatest, especially offensively against the Miami Heat. So RJ's going to go off. I think Derrick Rose is going to be in that 20 points plus game tonight, man. I'm excited to see Derrick Rose. He's my favorite player since I was like 8 years old, man. So I'm ecstatic. And I think Theo Pinson is going to have 0 points, 0 assists, and 40 claps. I think he's going to average 40 claps. So there we have it.
There we go. There we have it.
He dropped 10 tonight. I'm coming back on now.
Right.
Yo, wait, Devon. The only way Theo Pinson is going to point is if we're up 70 points.
Yeah,
that's
for
the
real.
only way. 78 points. But thank y'all, man. I always have a good time with y'all, man. Love to y'all.
Appreciate you, man.
Love to the panel. Love to the chat, man.
No doubt. Appreciate you, man. Ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, I was going to say about Pinson, bro. He is on that baseline shouting on defensive, things. I was like shocked.
Andy,
he was pointing more than Tibbs, man.
Yo, he be in front of the coaches. I know.
Exactly.
Like, move, man.
Move.
Get out the way, man.
Yo, Kenny Payne was like, move over, bro.
Right. All over the place, man. And then he gets on the plane and he's videotaping people on the plane and everything.
Every team needs a Theo Pinson.
Yeah,
Every
for real.
team needs a Theo Pinson.
For real. Yeah, no doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. Make sure you catch us at the post game. The game starts at 7 o'clock tonight, right?
Post
game catches the post game about 10 o'clock, somewhere around there. All right, 9:45, something like that. We appreciate you. We'll see you then. And until then, make sure you spread love, ladies and gentlemen. We are out of here. Be peaceful.